So yeah, we're reaching the near the end point now. It might not seem like it, but everything is kind of going according to plan, and I think it's going to be very difficult for them to fight back, as in to do any sort of like attacks that are going to be successful. They're going to make an impact. It's unlikely. So that's Antioch and Jerusalem. So two different directions. Seleucia is pretty good as well. Let's go for Nicopolis. If that's not too far, if that's not too close, excuse me. I think it might be too close, but it's worth a try. It is too close. We're over here anyway. I can't be able to go back, so we'll go this way. Antioch and Palmyra. Which one to go to? Tyrus or Brundisium? Brundisium's got better trade, so we go there. That's already got 3, which is awesome. So a lot of these have got 3 trade routes, which is going to make a big difference. If you look at our, in fact, I haven't even got the SETI program yet. So the SETI program makes a big difference. And as soon as you get the SETI program, then you're kind of set for. There's a pun there by accident. Then you are set when you have the SETI program. So where was it? It's in Rome. So I've got 3 caravans already, so I could home city this to one of the others and then pass it on from there, which is perfectly justifiable. That is the best thing to do as well. Actually, he's building one, he's not building one. Let's put it into Palmyra. And so this one has one more trade route, but we're getting to the point where I just need to remember not to put it into Nicopolis and Rome. So there we go. We're getting to the point where everything hits pretty hard, and SETI program will basically, because SETI program halves. I'll just put it up here. It increases knowledge production in all cities by 50%. I really thought it was doubled. I really thought it meant it was doubling all knowledge production. Okay, that's kind of. I really thought it was doubled. Anyway, it's a really good thing to get. It basically, so in theory, that means that should be from 4 discoveries to 3, or like 2.5, which could round to either 2 or 3, basically, which is good enough to get the rest of the way, and then to have no one stop you, basically. And the volume seems to be off. The sound seems to be off for some reason. I don't think that I turned it off. Okay, here's an interesting choice. Now, communism gets through the pyramids, and I don't have the pyramids, so I'm kind of tempted by that. But still, eventually gives you automobile as well. So still is probably a safer bet. Moving him over here, he needs to stay over there. So how are we doing? So yeah, so I can buy the SETI program or women's suffrage, and I'm tempted to buy this one. It's 5 turns. It costs 400 extra, so I can get it in 2 turns instead, which is just a better idea. I've already got barracks, I've got everything there. I forgot to check the sound. Don't understand why there's no sound. I must have switched it off or something by accident, or forgot about it. So building catapults instead of barracks is a strategic error, but it doesn't really matter that much at this point. I really thought I'd stop building barracks for some reason. That's got good trade, so actually university might be the way to go. Well, I'm getting pretty close to the point where I don't really need that much technology learning. So steel is not ideal, it's not what I wanted. But, there we go, let's do that. Chance. Awesome, so I have the SETI program, which is all good. We love the King Day, Gordian again. Every time Gordian gets massacred and they get all the good tiles stolen, they end up being so happy that they create a baby boomer generation. Very odd. Let's do this. So I bought the SETI program, and that means I now have, well, when I put it back to what it's supposed to be, that's going to be too light on the tax. That's fine. I can get away with taking away 19 each turn if I'm literally discovering things every 2 turns. So that's fine. Relentless. When it gets to the end, so as you'll find out, if you watch to the end, you're basically you end up with bombers, and bombers are kind of they are basically they are supposed to kind of win every time, and of course they don't a lot on Emperor. But basically you create a factory line, sort of factory production line of bombers, and they're kind of unstoppable. So you kind of get used to bombers losing in the most stupidest of situations. Some of which are impossible to believe unless you've played this game on Emperor before. Yeah, like literally bombers losing against. I literally had a bomber losing against a diplomat on a hill in another game. A diplomat has 0 defense strength, in the same way that my diplomat somehow managed to beat a cavalry, even though it has 0 defense. It's quite funny sometimes, but it seems like all of those interactions are happening now rather than at the stage where you get bombers. Anyway, so it's fairly interesting to me, at least. I think I'm actually going to try and develop that square that I said I wouldn't. This one over here. Okay, what have I got left to do? This one here. I'm mining this. I'm now thinking that maybe I should just irrigate this and clear this. So I've still got lots of production. Let's do that. Let's do it. So I'm on the home straight now. I've got loads of cannons. I really can't see them doing anything that's going to stop me from winning at this point. I've got too many units. The only issue now is that it's a long haul to the end still, because for those that are watching, even worse for me playing, it's already kind of wrapped up basically. It's just a question of getting the civilization advances and then pumping out the bombers and then doing that. Basically, now that I've got the wonders that I need, I'm like 99% sure I'll be able to get women's suffrage, and that's basically what we need to get there. So yeah, it's going to be a long haul. Well, hopefully not too long, but it's going to be quite long. Because it just takes a lot of time to go through the motions. Let's not move him just yet. Let's try and get one of these. I don't want to forget that I'm leaving them there for a purpose. Antiochum Brundisium. But even try and build a battleship actually, or in battleship, or yeah, I don't normally have steel. I normally skip steel. Honestly, it's only because I literally didn't have an option this time. Let's clear the stuff over here. University maybe. I think one defense actually, so maybe it's a little bit arrogant. Whoops, not cavalry. This one. You can also produce defences for other cities, which all seems a bit, sort of after the fact. Yeah, I've been attacked all game, so the idea of now building defences seems a bit ridiculous. But it's a good principle. You never know, something ridiculous can happen. I mean, that being surrounded by 8 units, I was very well prepared for that. But in other games, I've excuse me, I've taken it for granted too much in other games when I shouldn't have done. So I'm going to build a battleship here. Battleships are excellent units. In theory, they have an attack strength of 18, which means that veteran is 27 on attack, which is very, very strong, and defense strength of 12. However, for some reason, the computer just doesn't like you using them, and more often than not, the first time you use a battleship to attack any unit on Emperor, like it seems to be happening like at least 30% of the time that you lose, no matter who you attack, even if it's ridiculous, even if it's like 1 or 2 in defense. So in theory, they're the best units in the game, but in practice, for some reason, there's something wrong with. It just doesn't work, basically. But however, bombers are kind of the opposite. So bombers are not. It's not the opposite, but they are very strong units anyway. They got 12 in attack. Obviously, they ignore the effects of city walls. Basically, bombers are the way to go, not battleships. Right. So, okay, so I've got everything that I need, really. I just need the women's suffrage, which is in Antioch. But he's almost finished anyway. Antioch's almost finished, that is. Let's do this. Oh, here we go. So Americans have electricity, so they are beginning to get advanced finally. But they're not in time because I've already got all the wonders associated with electronics and computers. So it's a waste of time getting electricity, unless they think they're going to beat me in a space race, which is ridiculous. So that's my response to that. Explosives is another one that the computer likes to go for. Explosives in the Republic give you conscription, which gives you the second best defensive unit in the game, riflemen. Which again, most people seem to, it's kind of the obvious thing to go to logically. You say, oh, I'm going to go for the best defensive unit because I don't want to be attacked. The problem is, as soon as you do, you attract attention for having that technology, and suddenly everyone just comes after you, basically. So it's a really good city. I think I'm going to get. So at this point, I can think about getting Darwin's Voyage as well. Actually, I think I'll change that back to Darwin's Voyage. Darwin's Voyage gives you 2 immediate technologies, and all I'm trying to do right now is just get the last 2 technologies, and then I'll just start going to war. I'll just build bombers, and I'll just basically destroy everyone. So yeah, that's so Rome only had 10. It was 10 turns to get Darwin's Voyage, which is pretty good. Antioch's almost done with women's suffrage anyway. There's only one more wonder after that helps significantly, and that is the Apollo program. So yeah, I think let's put this one in here and send him over to there, maybe, or to there. Jerusalem, I think is a good idea. So actually, he can. I was a bit blasé about this. So he can attack there. So I need to send another defender. Possibly 2 more defenders, in fact. I'll expect to lose. So I managed to win for once, even though it's heavily in my favour, probability-wise. So I expect to lose. This guy hasn't even got an aqueduct, and yet he's got incredible growth. So I need to get that sorted. Now it's even got to the point which I can't remember the last time I got to, where the years go up in 2s. So 1750 goes up. It goes up in 2s from there, which means it's very, very late game, very late. So normally on Emperor by this point everyone's got kind of nuclear missiles and stuff like that. The conscription gives you riflemen, which is a defensive unit, but we're not going to go for that. It's a waste of time, and it attracts more attention as well. And it also encourages other civs to get towards riflemen as well, I think. So it's much better to, attack is the best form of defense in this game, in general. city. So I said a while back that we really need cities between the size of 10 and 15, which is what we seem to have now across the board, even with these ones. So we've got a good empire now. So that's why if I click on this, it will say 3 turns, which is not very long. Although I'm going to run out of cash again. Then at this point, I can probably sell the city walls here because they're not going to get close enough to the city at any point. I've got too many defences, too many offensive, defensive resources, as it were. City walls are a waste if you're not using them. And I'm going to send him to Carthage. Oh no, I'm not. I'm going to misclick like an idiot. So I'm not expecting anyone to be up here because I've never been approached on this side of the map. So I'm expecting nothing to be up there. The city that continually gets sieged and destroyed is extremely happy to the point that the birth rate has increased so quickly. So still, yeah. Battleships should really be down here trying to deal with all the transports and things like that. Still, even now, it's surprising if you do the numbers. It seems a little bit more fair, but even so, just if you've got 12 against 4.5, I think really that's very likely to win. Okay, so we're gonna railroad that. And actually, what I can do with all these settlers, I can build a separate city down here for example, and sort of preload it, sort of pre-stack it with irrigation and stuff like that. So basically develop around it, and then basically just sort of, just build the city, and it will already been born into good development, basically. Carthage. I'm going to try and build this road and railroad, but it's going to be pretty difficult to do. Awesome. So refining is kind of, it's the prelude to the end game. Yeah, combustion. So now you can get combustion flight, advanced flight. So we're kind of very close to getting advanced flight, which gives you bombers. Did I even build the women's suffrage? I can't remember doing that. I must have done. Did I get that already? I did indeed in Antioch. So, yeah. So now we're really cooking on gas. So now basically we don't just need advanced flight. We need to get the Apollo program so we can see all of the other, all of the cities. And it's a bit like in X-Men, where he's got in the chamber, it's like find all the mutants. But in this case, yeah, find all the other civilizations. And that's basically it. Again, I've done it again. I've been meaning to keep people around here. I've got settlers there, so it's fine. But still, and it'd be nice to get this railroad here. Finally. Whoops. And Darwin's Voyage is probably quite close as well. See, it's going up by 2 each time, which is just... I literally can't remember the last time. No, can't remember the last time I had a game that did that. It's because as it gets further on towards the modern day, current day, it reduces the amount that it increases per turn. So Cyrene is here. Nicopolis is there. Let's do Nicopolis. Let's do this one. Put him here. And battleships and cannons are kind of not where we're at really. We're at bomber level, and that's going to happen very soon because actually this guy hasn't got 4 turns. So we're going to get through to the Apollo program pretty quickly as well. And Carthage will be building the Apollo program. Does Carthage even need a bank? Is the question. I don't think it really does. So we're going to put it onto a wonder. In 3 turns after this, we'll have Darwin's Voyage, which will give us the give us 2 immediate technologies. The good thing about going through computers first is that you have all the other ones that appear afterwards. It's kind of an investment in the rest of the game. And you get flight and advanced flight quickly if you haven't got automobile already. For some reason, I think, although it's been a while since I've actually gone down the route of getting automobile first, but I think it basically slows you down from getting what is the main text, which is advanced flight and space flight. I don't know why I'm building a mine there. It doesn't seem to make any sense at all. Take out these guys, or not. Let's take out this one first. Whoops, I should have done something else first. Never mind. Well, that's very interesting to know. You're not always the largest civilization at this point. It's really good to know that the Greeks are second, because the Greeks are the first on my list of those that are going to go. Cruiser now. I've got combustion. I can buy a cruiser. They're good because they're quite quick. They're not as quick as bombers, obviously, but they are quick, which is useful. What have I got that's under threat down here? Not much. I don't think he'll attack, and even if he does, it's 2 against 1.5. So I've really got the odds on that. Oh no, I've just done something completely stupid. So I didn't check that this guy was next to the sea. So I bought a unit that's completely... I'll keep it for defense. It's quite entertaining. But it's a bomber that's trapped. So it's a battleship that's trapped in there. Okay, I'm going to give this one a break.